Pharma the Seraphine, maybe we start to get down the tier list enough where, hey, Nautilus actually looks alright in a situation. Time will tell, though, as we're getting set for the final draft of the night. And Bessa and Aurora taken away from Xiaohu to start this one off.
Okay, when we try and think about what's coming up in this early rotation, Corki still on the table, Nami still on the table. These are some of the key ones. Varus has been banned away in all 3 games so far.
Maybe not this
one. Will
he
get knocked away again? We have to wait now because there are decisions on the table. Things like Vi still on to be picked. Supports, Lulu is another one that we've seen LPL has really loved to first pick, given its flexibility with things like the Yanara, etc, etc. Very potent as we get a bit further into Fearless. Where does IG put their first pick? Last time it was Orianna, didn't end up paying off in the end. Who is getting the blind?
Gonna be a Lulu, like you said, and this could be an interesting answer to that. You'd imagine this would get paired alongside the Yunara unless Weibo decide to select it for themselves. Elk is 2-8 on the Yunara this season. Kind of just a symptom of the general Yunara syndrome that has kind of plagued the global space as of late. Not always being able to scale to its maximum opportunities. So maybe they feel comfortable enough just giving it away. The handshake Corki Nami into the Yunara Lulu seems to be what we're working with here in the draft for Game 3.
I mean, as far as dive and engage, Vi does it better than no other. And when you are presumably pairing it with a Nami as well, it makes it so irritating because you just get knocked up into knocked up from completely a screen away. And now, given the fact that Ezreal is gone, you wouldn't pair that with Lulu anyway, but what are we going to get for Jiejie to keep him safe, keep him alive? Potentially, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Xayah pivot, exactly. Like, it might be the necessary angle. It's something that you see into the Vi. Quite far down the tier list of player perception, though. I would be curious if we are going that route. Potentially we leave it for second rotation, but I mean, I don't know. It's where IG wants to place their chips. Okay, it's looking like it's standard territory, the presumed pairing, but is likely to be mega focused out.
Yunara has a decent amount of self-peel with the empowered dash and the slow with the W, but definitely not enough to make yourself feel totally safe. You're going to need a couple of other tools to get away from Jiejie here in this game. As there's a Nami that we were expecting, going the way of Hong, as we enter the second phase of this draft. Solo laners on the menu for both of these teams. You already see a lot of the big fighters, the bruisers that both Breathe and Zika have made their bread on throughout their careers. Let's continue to go down the tier list here.
See a Renekton ban from IG, most likely you want to get rid of those independent top laners that can deny Breathe a really potent counter pick here. Ultimately, we'll just have to figure out, considering it is last pick over to Weibo if they want to go that route. It may just be ban away some of the mages that you're happier to go safe. It looks like Ahri, there's not many safer mages that you can pick in the mid lane, so it will be that one knocked away. Stuff like the Syndra is a very scary pairing with the Vi as well, and can access the Inara from a screen away. Could see that. Can also interrupt the Skarner, as it is honestly going to be pinching the mid lane pools quite a lot. And when we have the long time expert of Xiaohu got a deeper champion pool than Renata's going to have as a rookie coming into this, it does make you think of the LeBlanc, something we've seen both of them have a lot of success on. Oh.
There's the Zoe taken away here from Renard. Definitely would have been a fun one to kind of carry over that theme of picking off and poking that IG brought in game number 2. The Azir still available as well. It's been kind of falling down the priority list as of late, as it has not found a ton of success when it has entered games, but you think with a Lulu, a Skarner, and a Yunara could be something that Renard would want to play.
I could honestly see it for Xiaohu as well, because it's very good at just literally pushing them off of you, outranging the Yunara, and it gives you a tool to make sure that Skarner isn't ganking you post level 6. As now, we're going to have to just sit here and wait. Renekton got through the bans. It does mean there's a very safe top laner. What on earth is Breathe going to have in order to answer this? And subsequently, what are we going to have Renard blind picking for Xiaohu to get counter on? I do like the idea of them going the LeBlanc, because you can escape the Vi ultimate with it, or at very least, drag her into the center of your team so far away that she gets 100 to 0'd.
Couple of options here that could be considered.
I like that.
For Invictus. You can add the Shen as just a little bit of extra protection for Jiejie on the Yunara, but instead looks like Breathe will potentially look to do a little bit more damage by locking in the Zehen. We've seen mixed results of this pick into the Renekton, both globally and here domestically in the LPL. I'm not sure if I love the pick into this one, especially because of how punished it can get in the early game, but if it's able to survive, Breathe's going to have a good time later on in this one, as there's the LeBlanc that you were talking about for Renard.
I don't want to be Jiejie this game because the Zehen can use his ultimate to invulnerable as the Vi is ulting him. We already talked about the LeBlanc interaction, so you're ulting the other 3 people in the game. You're probably not killing Skarner when you do it. Lulu's probably going to be too far away, so Jiejie is the man to kill, and the Lissandra counter pick is some ancient frosty technology that Xiaohu will be all too comfortable with. It is horrible to play against as the LeBlanc.
You say ancient, but this is definitely something Xiaohu played last year into LeBlancs when they came through. So not surprised to see him pull it out one more time in what could be the first win of the season for Weibo Gaming. A lot of expectations for this team, having finished in 3rd place, perhaps surprisingly. They need to get back into the win column. They need some momentum, and this is going to be how they try to do it.
I mean, Weibo, I think 3 games out of 3 have drafted the easier to execute comp. And for the love of God, you have 3 point-and-click CCs and a Corki Nami. It doesn't get more textbook than that right now. Like, Weibo know exactly what they need to do. Pick a guy, kill a guy, Lissandra passive goes off, rinse, repeat. We look over to IG on the other hand, and 3 games in a row, they give themselves a comp with a lot more tools, a lot more versatility, but it requires them to execute at the highest level, or Weibo will just be able to walk through them.
Yunara for Jiejie. The new AD carry here for Invictus Gaming. Replacing Photic, going into split number 2, has a lot on his back here. Gonna have to survive, gonna have to kite out, and have to deal a lot of damage against this composition for Weibo that is all out on trying to take him down. IG looking to stay perfect before their matchup against BLG, and Weibo looking to get back into the winner's circle. We'll see who takes it as we're in Game 3 of IG and Weibo.
Hell yeah, that's the energy we need for this one. Going the full distance in dramatic fashion. So we take a look at the runes. I don't see anything that's too out of the ordinary. We do have the grasp on the Zehen. Does help him get through lane against the Renekton, something you were bringing attention to as quite difficult. However, one thing that I do want to draw attention to is Renard has Ignite on the LeBlanc. Gonna be fishing for solo kills, something we saw him able to do the last time he picked this up.
I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, Game 3 of their NIP series that he played this. And I believe it ended up winning. So we'll do a little check on that. Also for the Lissandra for Xiaohu. Picked it once last year. It was in the playoffs against JDG. It was into a Swain. And they ended up losing that game. I believe that was Game 5 of the Fearless playoff series. As Jiejie going for an early invade. Or sorry, it's Jwei going for the invade, I should say. Jiejie just catches him out. There's Skarner able to smite this away, but Jiejie with level 2 and with the red buff going to continue the chase here. Renard in a 2v1 to try to force this Vi away, but he flashes straight away. Xiaohu looking to try to close the deal, but he's not going to get ignited and taken down. It's a 1-for-1, but first blood going over to the Scorpion, and Hung is level 1 on the wrong side of things. Gets hit up by the Glitterance. That's going to be another kill. Going the way of Renard and IG. Not the way you want to start things out if you are Weibo Gaming, as the invade from Jwei ends up netting them a couple of kills.
That is an absolute horror show. Jiejie sniffs out the invade, going buff to buff. That was pretty cool, but yeah, we're going to need the replay on that one because a near 1,000 gold lead at 2 minutes is not something that we thought we'd be saying for IG, not how they have been played throughout the series, but very happy to be the beneficiaries of Weibo's chasing.
Yeah, don't know how exactly Hong got up into the river at level 1. Don't know if that was necessarily the play either. But now if you're Renard, you're feeling pretty happy about yourself. You can see Renard also going the IG LeBlanc skin. Going after his player that he's replacing for this split in Rookie. That was honored with that one after winning Worlds now 8 years ago at this point.
Oh, don't say that. I've not felt older in a hot minute. 8 years? It's not really, is it? Oh my
years.
god.
Well, 7.5. It'll be 8, this November. But
that's a long time since we first won Worlds. Holy.
Yeah, I was still in high school, I think, at that point. So.
God, I don't know. Okay, all right. That you just completely threw me through a loop there thinking about it. That is a prospect of all time. But, will IG be winning Worlds this year? Who knows? We've got a long, long way to go before then, as starting it off in this one, we do get some pretty good trading coming out from the IG bottom lane. It is all but helped by the fact that Hung had that little wander over and death and lose both sums true combo. Does make it so the laning prowess of the Nami Corki is somewhat diminished, as we are ticking ever so closer to that level 6 mark when Xiaohu will have the ultimate, when Jiejie will have the ultimate, that basically act as no fun allowed buttons for Renard, for Jiejie.
Yeah, it seemed like Weibo, the last 2 games, have had pretty comfortable scaling win conditions. Not as much this game, which means that Jiejie is going to have to continue to be on the offensive to try to just make some plays happen, like they're going to try to do onto Jiejie here. But Elk was already taken very low off of that initial trade. The lethal tempo is still available here for Jiejie, and Elk's got to be really careful. He's at 100 HP under his tower. Will
go barrier advantage for Weibo there, but at the end of the day, with how low, Wei sniffing this out. I don't think they're going to go for a dive, but they can at very least pressure all Renard's.
Oh, they're hunting. And they know that Renard is here too. A big wave is crashing in. Actually, it's only a couple of ranged minions at this point. But they're going to try to hold the cannon minion here. Look for a little bit more. In goes Renard. They execute. Will take down Hong. And that is a 3rd kill in favor of IG in the first 5 minutes. They're going to go for the redive as well. Hong,
who's going to take aggro? This is essential.
In the death chamber as Elk will go down. Renard gets himself another kill. Oh, he's living up to his successor in Rookie on this champion in his honor. It's 5-1 IG.
As many Dark Seal stacks as minutes in the game, Renard is very happy walking away from that one. It's going to put all the more pressure onto his opposite number. Xiaohu needs to be the man that stops this snowball. With his jungler, we need to see those two hit level 6 and immediately put this LeBlanc down. Such a good execution to recognize if we kill off one, diving 3v4 is a bit sketch. Diving 2v4, nah, chill. As they play, again, just IG, this roster, does such good execution, not just on dives, but it's the micro of fighting, where they understand who needs to do what and just immediately all get on the same page. Juggling the aggro expertly. Jiejie has to flash out, but at the end of the day, it's going to come out massively in their favor anyway, as we take a look at the gold difference. Incredibly, Xiaohu is actually only 200 gold behind, even though their opposite number has 5 KB.
Renard's been roaming more, but that means that he's given up a couple of waves in XP. Xiaohu also about a half level up in experience. Should be able to hit 7 off of this cannon going down. And now actually has an opportunity to push Renard back a little bit. So that is a silver lining here for the Weibo mid laner. This is the power of the Lissandra in this matchup. Despite the Darksteel stacks, it'll be a solo kill in for Xiaohu. He'll go down in a trade to that final tower shot as Wei gets 300 gold. But you got to feel a little bit good for Xiaohu in that situation.
I mean, it was a cold shot. He needs to be the guy to shut him down. I kind of expected the jungler to be necessary, but Renard just getting caught out on the walk back to lane. Immediate pickup of the null magic mantle. Definitely a bit shooketh after that one. Xiaohu somehow holding the gold lead on mid. I mean, we say somehow. You explain it nicely. It's obvious how, but it's crazy that it's happening nonetheless.
Yeah. So that's the one angle for Weibo to try to get back into this game, but Xiaohu not available here for the taking of the dragon, which Invictus will do.
There's a Scar.
Potentially even looking for more. There's a flash glitter and Stremeko just to try to slow it down Elk and Hong. and they have to burn the flash off the Nami to do so.
Double level 6s on the table.
Oh, here they go. Cease and desist on to Jwei. Xiaohu no longer has his ultimate. A two-man impale does come through, but Weibo currently have the numbers advantage. Renard has become unleashed and is doing a ton of damage now, and waiting for Renard to come in and try to finish off some kills. For one more issuance of that laser, in they go. Renard once again will dive forward with a distortion and take Hong down for the 3rd time.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Jiejie is playing astoundingly for this game, and he was playing damn good on the Jin. We get to see that solo kill. This is that minion, actually the real MVP for Xiaohu, by the way, keeping Renard out of tower range for just a little bit longer. And calling the go in there is an acceptance that you're going to die at this point, but very happy with the net result. But Jiejie, again, he's playing so good. Like, the awareness that if he goes in there with the ultimate, he's able to tag the slow onto so many people that Renard gets the chase down. It's a tragedy for IG that they weren't able to get more off of it, but nonetheless, I love how he has been playing, and he needs to keep that going, because given how many tools Weibo have to say, you're not having fun, Jiejie's going to have to try real hard to find the bright side of life this game.
Yeah, as far ahead of the curve as you can get, the better here for Jiejie. Nearing that Kraken Slayer to start this game off. Not there just yet, though, as we'll have to continue to wait things out. IG are happy with that, though, because, in all honesty, they're scaling. I would say better than Weibo's at this point.
Side lane-wise, completely agree. The Renekton will eventually fall off, and the fact that Zika hasn't really been able to get much of a lead up on the top side. In the early team fights, he's going to massively do more than Breathe, just because it's the Crocodile. He bridges you to the mid-game pretty damn well. There's a reason that he's been in the meta since, well, forever. And the Zehen takes a fair bit longer to truly come online and become that disgusting monster. However, as you allude to, if he becomes that disgusting monster, what the hell are we doing to stop him?
Yeah, with Breathe, once he gets past the early game, that would be a good sign. Looks like Renard's going to have some trouble getting there, though, as both ultimates were used by the mid-jungle of Weibo to shut this LeBlanc down.
Yeah, not exactly where I thought that would happen. I was kind of expecting that to be Weibo doing that on the mid lane, but the net result is the same. Using these ultimates in tandem is the best way to shut down Renard. 1, not enough, as he was nearly able to scoot out of there. 2, a bit too much to play around. So now we have a potential dive angle, but Skarnerol is up, but you do see the jungler right there.
Yeah, Jwei looming, knowing that he lands a couple of issuances of crowd control. Could easily be Hong going down without his flash available. Dishing out a little bit of poke. Aqua Prison does connect as well, but if you're Weibo, you're never committing to this, just given how far ahead Jwei and the bot lane of IG are.
And we need to keep that going. We need to keep this bot lane for IG winning, because with how much Xiaohu has been able to claw back in the middle lane at this point.
Renard is 66 farm.
Yeah, this is the assassin
and he's rushed Merc Treads.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this champ's not as scary as it was about 5 minutes ago.
Very much so. Definitely am more intimidated by the level 5 LeBlanc than this one right now. As it will be another play on the bot lane, though. I don't think Hong and Elk share that sentiment of being more afraid earlier.
Yeah, this time Jiejie's not there to defend him, so it will be Hong immediately throwing out the Aqua Prison. Gonna land the Impale just barely onto Hong. 0-4-0. Been a lot of sushi on the menu here for Invictus, but it will come at the cost of the Grubs going the way of Jiejie.
Not just the Grubs, but Xiaohu taking down another tower play, and given how they are already securing the Grubs on the side, I don't think this tower is long for the world after Renard goes for another play on the bot.
That was a bold walk forward for Renard there, given what happened the last time he tried to aggressively walk.
He was ready to catch these hands. He has the Merc Treads this time. He does that. He knows JJ's not there. He just got the avoid Grubs died notification. He had a few seconds before he had to be terrified.
Well, with that being said, clear split of the map has opened up for this game number 3. Weibo still controlling the top side, whereas IG really have owned the bottom lane for this entire series. It was exactly what we talked about, even in game number 1. And that's surprising, that we have not seen Elk really be that level of player that we saw of him in Split 1. How much of that is due to his performance? How much of that is due to his support's performance? We will left to be determined. That's the situation that we're at right now. This Corki is going to take a while to get to a level where he can really contend with Jiejie's Yunara.
Full Kraken Slayer already secured, and with the Ocean Dragon spawn now, I would be positively surprised if Weibo went for a contest. There is the Blackfire Torch already in Xiaohu's pocket, so if they are able to pick a guy and kill a guy, then Weibo can get rolling. It's not impossible to go for a fight here, just unlikely.
Some ultimates traded here by the top laner. Both of them have the Grievous Wounds applied as well. Zika with an empowered W looking to go forward, but now on the bottom lane, it's Jiejie going for the cease and desist onto Jiejie, but he has the wild growth, and Xiaohu might have gone a little bit too far forward. He gets taken down by the Transcended Yunara, and that is another kill in the bot lane for the side of IG. Jiejie, once again, reigning supreme down here. He owns this side of the rift.
Oh, that guy's impressive. Like, I truly, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a bit of that prime Jiejie off the back of that. Oh my god.
Jwei goes for a flash, finds Elk with the impale. He's forced to Valk over, going for the offensive. He gets a shutdown onto Jiejie and forces Mako to flash away. It's an over-aggressive play from IG. They underestimated how much damage Weibo really had. And Elk is right back into this one, baby.
Oh no, this is exactly how it fell out of IG's hand in Game 2 was Jwei, getting a bit too aggressive. He's generally been quite good at being that reserve force, but seeing a play that just wasn't there is going to not only shut down his own ADC, it's going to buy Corki enough time to go back and get a Triforce. It's also going to lose them the Dragon, which could have been leading to some great stacking. Jiejie, thumbs up emoji, played exactly perfectly here to drag Jiejie as far away as possible to not get the Nami follow-up and not be in Xiaohu's range, and honestly, bait Xiaohu to die, because you have to commit that far. What the hell are we doing? Like, Mako is a quarter HP. Yeah, I don't know.
There's an angle here. The awkward prison from Hong really was good in stalling out the amount of damage that Jiejie was able to dish out, and also allowing for Jiejie to land that flash Vault Breaker. But still, Yunara didn't have ultimate anymore.
Yeah, I didn't
Not necessarily the strongest point here for IG to go for a play like that.
No, definitely not. If Ronaldo's still on that half of the map, then I think it's completely fine, but just a bit of miscommunication, and that is the thing that we keep saying about IG. They draft comps that are harder to execute, so you need to all be on the same page. Otherwise, it's just not going to... Oh, hold on. Zika's in the pit.
Looks like he's trying to save his flash for now. As the Erha got started up. Okay, he's out of there with the slice. But
honestly,
yeah,
that was scary.
It felt like they're IG a little bit overconfident. They felt like this was their moment. They countered the engage. But then Weibo was able to get right back into it, and now, we talked about how it might have taken a while for Elk to get back into this game. Now has the Triforce unlocked. It's a step closer than we might have thought he would have been at this point.
Most definitely, and a step further than IG would like to see as Breathe struggling to lane against the Lissandra. Not exactly something that Mealy's like doing. That was good.
Yeah, nice buffer there with the ultimates. There'll just be a trade of those Rs. Get a heal here in the mid lane. Jiejie gets spotted out by the control ward. Rift Herald still available for both sides to take. We are dead even in gold, despite the kills being 9-5 at this point, Melvin. That is the situation, and that is how Weibo have been able to play around this mid-jungle duo and make things happen.
I think Weibo are much happier with the lane assignments right now, because Renard can't really do much to the Renekton. Definitely can't be as abusive as this Lissandra is being. You don't have that much threat on lethal. Xiaohu, he's posturing. He's making Breathe think twice about stepping up for these minions, every single one. And now Wei finally threatening to walk down here. Xiaohu, Sixth Sense, fishes that one out. Will take the opportunity to back off, wait for his team to reconvene, and then roll out on the map. We do have the Rift Herald up, but a lot of focus down here bottom lane. Does not have the Grim Deliverance right now.
And this time Jiejie is here. No ultimate available on Breathe anymore. Should be an easy kill. Jiejie with that cease and desist will have to use the ultimate to make sure that Breathe goes down. Nicely done. In the bottom side for Weibo.
I don't know if I like Breathe using the flash there. Like, it does force Jiejie to ult, so I suppose that is one tool that is off the table for this upcoming fight. It's fine if IG leverage the fact Vi doesn't have ult and take this Herald knowing that they don't need to be as scared. Jiejie doesn't need to burn flash as quickly against the full dive. And there we go. We see pings coming down. If IG end up coming away with this, then I think they're alright with it. First Blood Tower has been taken in the middle lane by Weibo, really benefiting from all that hard work that Xiaohu had done on mid, and he actually has rewarded himself with a little pro belt.
Because that's what we all go these days, right?
Lissandra was going it before it was cool, so
yeah,
you know, this one respect.
This makes a little bit. This makes more sense. You want to get as close to the enemy as possible to throw out that frozen tomb. Yeah, doesn't mean I'm necessarily. It's just it is still a symptom of what is going on right now.
I mean, when Renard gets his, then I'll allow you to be annoyed.
Yeah, you already have like 5 dashes. You really need another one?
Listen, what about 6th dash? How trade offer?
True.
Like 20% less damage for an additional dash.
Wait, why do damage when you can just be annoying and jump around as much as possible?
What if Vi ults you? Which is going to matter more there? A bit more damage or a little dash?
I think the damage though, but you know what? That's besides the point. At this stage, we got Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. IG controlling mid lane at this point. You can see Elk really starting to dish out a little bit more at this point in the game. I'm not sure exactly if Weibo are going to fully commit to a 5v5 at this point.
Breathe is the only person without flash at this point, so you need to keep an eye on how this one goes. Xiaohu will continue to just be a bully no matter who he is put against in the side lane. It truly takes 2 people to handle him at this point. As now, there's a lot of posturing, and I think with Renard going for the recall here, he does not have TP reminder. He is an Ignite LeBlanc. If he wants to get to this fight and have an impact, he needs to get walking now. Xiaohu does have the teleport, so will be able to pick up that tower and then make his way over. Potentially even just continue to threaten on the side and just go for a TP. There's a couple deep wards for Weibo already secured as... Okay, looks like they're just forfeiting. Just gonna give the dragon his wares.
And you know, worth it considering what is going on around the map, right? You're able to break open a couple of these towers in the mid and the top lane, get Xiaohu further ahead, allow for Elk to try to scale a little bit more. And they're going to be able to kind of invade, figure out some of this enemy jungle too. Jiejie claims the blue buff, but now Hong maybe out of position here. Nice use of the tidal wave to get himself out. But a teleport is getting sent in from Breathe. IG really want to try to finish this chase off. They land the drag back onto Xiaohu, but he flashes underneath his tier 1. And that will be all of the aggression that IG do decide to go for. Going to give up the dragon, but Weibo getting a big chunk of gold in response. They have Jwei now driving the Herald into the mid lane tier 1. Does not take down the entirety of it, but does chunk it down rather heavily.
Okay, and I think by the tail end of that, IG are going to be quite happy with the series of play. They get the dragon, lose a bit of gold on the top side, but they're able to equalize with both some plates on mid, and both of Xiaohu's summoners being down means he can't be as much of a bully on the side lane. Knowing that there's no flash available, knowing that he can't have that TP to join a fight on the other side, should give IG a window before that next dragon spawns to get something done to try and sway some of these solo lane gold leads, because if we're being honest, we pan down, it's really only Mako with a gold lead, and that is functionally irrelevant.
Yeah, we've been calling Mako the MVP for IG so far in this series. Still not necessarily where you want all the gold to be. Just like it wasn't necessarily on the Anivia in Game 2, as we clearly saw by the end of that one. But we'll still be able to buff up Jiejie rather nicely. I think you're hoping to get that Mikhail's done before the next dragon fight, so you're able to get him out of all of the crowd control that Weibo have to throw at them, whether it's an Aqua Prison, a Cease and Desist, or just Xiaohu jumping in and throwing everything at the Yunara, who continues to, again, be the main win condition for Invictus.
Gives you enough tools to try and disjoint. It still requires Jiejie to be the one that outplays after the fact. You could cancel an Aqua Prism, but if there is a Cease and Desist chasing you, you're only going to have a limited amount of time to buy that extra space. As 2.5 minutes up, they're not. No, okay, they're just walking through. That's I think the first time watching through every Weibo game this split that I have seen Weibo standing in front of Baron doing anything. Like, I was fully...
Even if it was just looking at it, saying hello, how's your day?
You know, Jiejie literally was like holding his arm backwards. He could have punched Baron right there and then and changed the tempo of Weibo forever. Like, I don't know, they clearly have some kind of relationship with Baron that needs to be studied.
The Baron taking from either team, not great. Definitely not good on Weibo's side. I think IG have a better time just starting that objective up, which again kind of goes back to the narratives that we were starting going into this game, just about, you know, Weibo and how they somehow give away those objectives for free more often than not. Hopefully for them, doesn't happen, because that seems to be one of the ways that IG could get back into this game.
And to kind of continue a narrative on from the previous game, I don't think he's as much of a tickle monster as he was with the Roa Rocket Belt Oriana, but I do think Renard's damage is lacking. The fact that that was, I believe, an entire full combo, only taking a quarter of Xiaohu's HP with no MR shoes, isn't great. You probably still one-shot or get close to Hung, and it's maybe doable onto Elk, but
yeah,
I don't know, it's going to be slow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Merc Treads to get away from the Lissandra CC makes sense, but
yep.
certainly takes away your assassination ability, even against somebody like Elk, who now is going to be able to probably survive a full combo that Renard throws at him, unless some other abilities are also thrown his way. So we'll see how effective Renard will be in this game, as now he gets immediately stunned up with a Frozen Tomb, but the chain will land in response. Renard looking to finish him off, and he will be able to do so, and Mako keeps him alive with the Wild Growth.
That's the kind of caster curse I like to see right there.
There we go. Saying
that Renard's 0 damage. It did take him 3 rotations to break through Xiaohu and a support, but by God did he do it. And, jokes aside, that is going to be important for really starting to blow open this side lane snowball with LeBlanc, because if Renard can get to a few more items, it doesn't matter what you build. LeBlanc 3+ items, 4+ items, is just going to one-shot basically anything that moves. And honestly, if Mako's not here, I think Xiaohu probably gets away from it, but some really slick feet from Renard to not get rooted under tower the first time.
Yeah.
And then loop back in with the confidence to go for that kill.
I don't think Xiaohu saw that the chain was still on him as he proto-belted forward. If he proto-belted back, he would have been safe. But instead opting to, get that extra chunk of damage, and ends up getting rooted and punished very heavily for it. So Xiaohu, despite having some decent moments, now has died for the 4th time this game, and that has allowed IG to get Windows back into this, despite, making some mistakes themselves.
IG gonna say, who cares about Dragon? We're 2-2. This is pretty much guaranteed 35 minutes minimum to see the Elder Dragon on the map, so we're not that bothered. We'll just trade it for more gold into Renard, minimize that gold lead even further. It was over 1,000 only a few minutes ago.
Oh, Jiejie flashes forward onto Hong, but he's immediately going to get punished by the cease and desist. Wild Growth on top of him as he does a lot of damage with Transcend, but there comes Xiaohu with the Frozen Tomb on himself, and he burns Jiejie down to the ground. A big pickup here by Weibo Gaming as they have a 4v5 around the Baron.
If there's one thing we can't be doing into Vi Lissandra, it is flashing forward Jiejie, unless it's to finish off the last guy and end the game. That is egregious as far as just greed, misplays, whatever you want to call it goes. Luckily for IG, they're at least going to be able to knock down all of the tier 1 towers on the map to give a bit more playmaker, a bit more space, but you're going to be down a Baron. Watch this gold lead swing. I can't wait to see the gold graph after the game, because honestly, it's been a fun little mini-game going through our little producer chat on the side, looking at the gold graphs, and it is truly all over the place. What on earth made him do this in Vi's face?
I can sort of see it, but he didn't end up flashing, he just used the Transcendent Dash.
Okay.
But then, once he uses the flash, Xiaohu's here.
It's not as egregious, but it's still pretty bad. It's there, yeah. It's still pretty bad to be going for the solo kill on Nami when you don't know where Lissandra is, when you know Vi is right there. And to be honest, I think if it was just Vi, Porky, Nami turning around, he still has to flash away at the end of that. Like, Lissandra appearing didn't change the flash being blown, and flash being up is the thing that lets Jiejie have agency this game to outplay Jiejie's engage.
He's strong. Yunara's at 3 items, but just again, compositionally speaking, very difficult for him to have the full effect that he was hoping to be when he locked this champion in the first rotation of the draft. Now we see Elk really starting to come online as well. You can see he's gone for the Serpent's Fang to help with some of the shielding that the Lulu, the Skarner are going to be able to provide. Very dangerous Corki when all is said and done.
There we have Xiaohu coming to TP up this top lane. Power is done and dusted. We are only halfway through Baron duration. It looks to be just a rotate to mid. Zika was already prepping the wave. There is a lot of crystalline overgrowth on that one. Probably going to go for it on the next minion
forward on a Zika. Gets him about half HP. But the Quax still has the ultimate still would not really be in any threat of going down.
Still needs a little bit more gold for Renard until he has that hat, and to really get back into threat range, having the percent pen plus hat is honestly enough to make him super scary on the map again, especially considering that Xiaohu has gone for the Seeker's Arm Guard, a Lissandra classic. Does mean that he'll be able to keep himself alive for a long time, but that doesn't mean he will be doing as much killing, which, given he is the sole AP minus support for his team, is really important. You need to be breaking through whoever is on the front, whoever is the chosen target, so that Elk can keep right-clicking forwards and not be met with Jiejie gunning him down.
A lot on these two mid laners. Xiaohu, the most experienced mid laner in the LPL. Renard, maybe one of the least experienced. But they each have their own duties to accomplish here in this game. Renard trying to honor Rookie here on his signature LeBlanc. Where Xiaohu, an old classic, can make some plays happen and stop this young gun from getting their 4th win of the split number 2. Got Dragon spawning in a minute. Weibo still feel like they're pretty much in control at this point. The question is, will IG scaling be enough eventually to try and get them back to a winning state?
And it really does need to be, because if we loop back to the stakes of the game when we're pretty much on the precipice of it being blown open one way or the other. Weibo, 0-3 right now. They need this win, not just for standings purposes, but for their own damn momentum. If you can't beat IG at this point, you solidify IG as a serious contender for that top 4. Give them the opportunity to play for top 2 even, once we start to get further into the split, considering, as stated, they're going to be 4-0 if IG could get away with this win. And it very much feels like it's a get-away with situation. We do have the hat now in inventory for Renard. Still level down on Xiaohu 2, actually.
The Dragon is about to spawn. Xiaohu does go in. Just with the Proto Belt to find a route onto Jwei. Meanwhile, Zehen is forced to ultimate away as Breathe now does not have that ability at his disposal. Trading back and forth, but nobody has started up the Drake just yet. Jiejie using the Ball Breaker to get potentially into ultimate range as there goes Xiaohu with the Frozen Tomb immediately on the way. Forces the wild growth and gonna mean that Jwei survives for now. And the Guardian Angel has been popped off of the Vi. In goes Xiaohu looking for Jiejie. There's the cease and desist. And Jiejie is down once again. The first kill goes in favor of Weibo Gaming as they'll claim Cloud Soul Point.
One and only kill required for Weibo to walk away with this one. When the pressure was up, they knew who they had to get. They used their comp, and they threatened Jwei so bad. Their jungler so close to dead in front of the pit. Mako has to use the wild growth to keep the contest alive. But without that, Jiejie playing at basically half HP, not able to go back in, and it's only a matter of time before Xiaohu finds his mark.
It felt like IG was kiting things out beautifully. They were able to burn off a couple of spells. Jwei was the only one to eat a brunt of the damage. And they forced Jiejie's Guardian Angel with the Impale. But once you throw everything at the Vi, the rest of the team still has all of their tools.
Jwei gets to slink away, but it's exactly this. The Vi, just because she died, doesn't mean she didn't have ult. The whole point was you managed to grab her before that went down. And it's just Weibo being very reserved with their cooldowns. And as soon as one person dies in a Lissandra team fight, you have got to get the hell out of there. Unless the health bars are blinking red for the enemy team, there is zero chance you're winning after that point. Breathe, with that TP in, definitely made it awkward for his team to play out. The Baron is up in 13 seconds. Jiejie does have the flash. Vi, as stated, doesn't have that G8 available anymore. Some really important cooldowns we must keep an eye on for if this is going to be an IG turnaround or if Weibo are going to keep their momentum.
Jwei going forward, but it's bubbled up by Hong as the Baron has now spawned. Invictus Gaming had the Nexus open in game number 2, almost had a sweep, but now could be looking at their first loss of split number 2 in the regular season. Mid lane control going to be important as Renard jumps forward and forces that W out of Xiaohu. We now also see Zika working towards a flank, but he's marked by Breathe to make sure that nothing crazy does happen in that regard. Mid lane control still belonging to Weibo. Neither side really wants to immediately pull towards the Baron. They're instead looking for stealing away enemy camps, which is what Jiejie will do onto the red buff. Jwei looking to contest it, but Jiejie will be able to win the smite. And now the goal is to just get away with their prize in hand. Jwei dashing forward, does find the knockup. Elk gets dragged in, but he still has a lot of damage and is able to flash away. Breathe with the hand ultimate will still go down without having that revive be popped. And Xiaohu goes into stasis to keep himself alive. Popping the hourglass, still going to flash away, and immediately pops the claw and almost goes back in. But instead, Weibo are going to take what they got just with that one kill onto Breathe.
And this Sehen just not able to get anything done in the team fights. As soon as Weibo turn their main crowd control tools, ease of execution. Ease of execution. It's been the thing that Weibo have drafted in every single game, and we are feeling it this game.
Oh, Xiaohu, he gets polymorph. He's not able to use that claw forward. This is Jiejie's opportunity, but another stopwatch does come through. The hourglass was finally completed. Now Jiejie's gone down. Elk picks up the kill, and Bernard is down for the count as well. It's a second kill in favor of Weibo Gaming, and that might have broken this Game 3 open with Baron on the menu.
IG go for something. They try their best to actually get a pick to make it so they can contest this Baron, but the desperation on their faces is reflected by Xiaohu's ice, walking away, ulting himself to heal. An easy Baron for everybody except for Elk. Weibo should be looking to end, looking to get Dragon Soul in the next few minutes.
What a turnaround here for Weibo. This is typical Weibo, though. This is exactly what they do. They make you think that they are going to be down and out, and then somehow find a way back in. Xiaohu uses the arm guard for the first time, for the first fight, and uses the hourglass for the second.
Just not playing around it, and Renard stepping up to try and back up his ADC gets caught out too. It's literally the two most important people for IG dead before anything happens. Xiaohu not having the Zhonya's for a little bit longer is not really a cooldown that's easy to play around, considering that tomb is back up for Xiaohu to hide in should he need. Lissandra is such an impossible champion to break through at this point in the game. It truly does need to be a complete Weibo collapse, a complete misposition for IG to get back into it. How on earth could they engineer a fight in their favor? Zika
on a flank, level 20 with the dominance, gets immediately polymorph, but still able to find the stun onto Jiejie. Has to cleanse, does go down, shut down in the hands of the Unara. And it's a 4v5 still on the map, but Jwei and Jiejie are still at half HP. Breathe dashing forward with that teleport, does find the drag back onto Xiaohu. And now they could look to try to continue this fight. It will at least likely deny the soul, as it is still a 4v5, but Renard is looking for even more than that. Finds Sigil of Malice onto Elk, forces him down, but in goes Jiejie, looking for Jiejie, and they once again find their prize. Renard flashes away, but it's all too late. A double kill already in for the Corki, as the Grim Deliverance finally comes in. Breathe starting to dish out some DPS, as Breathe and Jiejie starting to duke things out. The revive comes in, but it will not be enough. Xiaohu gets the kill, and it will be a 4v1 for the Sehen, and he does not like those odds. It's an ace for Weibo, as they'll pick up their first series of split number 2.
It is a walk-down fight. It looked like it was all over, but Weibo so far ahead, so confident in their comp, play it out to precision to walk away. The momentum for this team felt different. Xiaohu felt different in these games. The Annie, the Lissandra, being that leading force for the team that the man in the mid needs to, gets them on the board.
IG was one auto away from their 4th straight series win. But Xiaohu said, no way, bro. They end up taking this one 2-1 and are finally in the win column in Split 2.
Definitely took too long, we'll put it that way, but when we came into today, the standings were telling one story, but the names were telling another. And it was the literature that won out in the end, with just making that difference, just finding those plays, accelerating, shutting down Renard, the 3-0-2 LeBlanc walking back into lane. Xiaohu's experience comes calling, and